So in this video, I want to talk to you about a productive way with which you can study for exams. Most of the time I've seen people do this. If say there's a book with 15 chapters, they'll study chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then they'll go up to 15. And then they'll keep revising it in the same serial way. It keeps going. And most of the advice that we get from pretty much everyone used to be like, you read the book 5 times, you should know everything almost, at the tip of your hands. You should know what is being referenced from exactly which area of the book. And if you just read the book maybe 5 or 10 times, then you know exactly how much you've covered. You will probably have done the syllabus, and that's what many people just try to do. They just try to read the whole book 5 times and they think that that's how it's going to work. Most of the people who used to read the whole book, they used to work harder, but somehow they were just not able to do the problem solving part. Just directly reading all the chapters serially, that doesn't do the trick. That doesn't work. This repeated reading technique, if we may call it that way, repeated reading is not very productive, because after a while, when they're doing it for the second time, third time, they start reading very passively and not actively. You're reading it, but you really don't form the mind map, or you don't actually get what you're reading. You're just somehow just satisfying yourself that you've finished the whole chapter once again. I used to do that a lot with history when I was in school, and I thought that would work. But in the end, I still never knew if I did it that way, what the exact story was. So how should things be done better if repeated reading is not the best technique, and if it is not also the best way to revise? What we also say is there should be good amount of revision of what you've studied. But if repeated reading is not the best way to revise, then what is? This is the technique which I use. And that's how my marks also, started to increase more and more. Like, I was not one of the people who used to be among the top ranking students. First, I tried this out. I read the book straight and then I read it whole in reverse. Now, when I read it in reverse, like I went from 1 to 15 and then 15 to 1, I was like, okay, what's happening is my second time which I did it, it wasn't passive. Because what happens is we do 1 to 15 and then 1 to 15 again. While we're doing the first 5 chapters, we're all cool. And then our attention span still decreases. And we still retain the first 5. And then after that, it's again very passive and we don't recall everything, because we're also tired and we're not engaging well enough also. It's not a very interesting way to study. This is what I would suggest. Don't read the book at all in the beginning. In fact, without knowing the syllabus at all, just read the headings, just read the index, and maybe a little bit of the glossary so that you know what terms are there in the book. Spend like half an hour, not more than that. Just glance through the index, see if you can just make a mental map, and read the glossary in the end. That's all. Write a mock test on that subject. Whatever marks you get, you might get like 10 out of 100 or maybe 50 out of 100, doesn't matter. But that establishes, okay, this is how much of the whole subject I know. Next, after we establish that baseline, what you've done is just read the index. So you know the map of the chapters. You've run the glossary. So you know approximately what kind of jargons or special terms which you already might not know would be used in that subject. And then you've given a question paper, so you know what's the final scenario that you'll encounter in that subject. Now, once you've done these 3, next is, again, you've not started reading even from chapter 1 to 15 at all. Next thing, open the book, go from chapter 15. I mean, whatever the last chapter is, 20 or 25, whatever, the last chapter, and start reading only the headings. Like, maybe in reverse, yeah. Whatever the headings are there in the book, you might understand some, you might not understand some. But read it, and read it in a way which is not very active but not very passive also. You don't have to understand everything, but you must be like, okay, I've come across this term when you study it later. It should at least be something that is familiar to you, right? It can be a weird term, maybe a name of a scientist, or maybe some other jargon which is on that subject. You need not know, but don't be very passive or very active. Just be like, okay, I'm glancing through a magazine, the way we glance through magazines or newspapers, just like that. Go from chapter 1 to 15 again, just reading only the headings. And this time, if there are some special definitions also or special jargon which you came across, read that again. Now, in these 4 steps, you have established that, okay, this is what I'll encounter in the end. This is the overall map of the syllabus, what I need to go through. Now, still you're not reading the book. This is the 5th step. What you'll do is, you'll open random questions from the book and read them from all the chapters in any sequence. Just open some random questions. Don't spend more than 1 hour in this exercise. Now you've encountered some questions and you'll be like, okay, this is what I'm going to be learning once I read this subject. Otherwise, you would have just read it and you'll be like, okay, I did not know why I was reading it. What are the questions that I will be answering? But now at least that curiosity has developed. So this is the 5th step. 6, do some example questions. You read some questions previously from the exercises, but you were like, okay, this is what I'll be answering, but you still don't know how the answers are given. So this is step 6. 7, now that you've done examples, you've done a few mock questions, you've read what are the jargons, you know a little bit of the structure of the syllabus, you've established your baseline, and you've seen some examples. Now start reading the book as fast as you can, not very slow, not in very heavy detail, but not very, very passive. So it's like somewhere in the middle again, but now you're reading through the whole book. Again, this has to be very rapid reading, right? So you now from chapter 1 to whatever the last chapter is, earlier if you were reading actively or putting in all the effort and you were maybe reading it in 5 days and you were finishing the book, say. Finish this in 5 hours. Like that's how fast you're going to be. You're going to read vertically. Like instead of word by word, you'll also try to read like sentence by sentence. So when I say vertically, your eyes are not actually going like this, but your eyes are going like this through a page. You're scanning very fast. So what happens is, again, all you're doing is trying to create a mind map of what the syllabus would be like. If you find something interesting, read it. If you don't find it interesting, keep moving on. Only read if you find something interesting. And see if, some random question which you encountered a while back got answered. Now, after this, somewhere in between active passive reading of the whole book that you've done, give another mock test. You would have established a slightly higher baseline. And this probably, all of these steps can be done in say 2 days. Now, once you've done that, now start reading the whole book very actively with focus, like in a proper fashion from chapter 1 to 10 or 1 to 15, whatever. And this time put a little bit of focus. Each chapter you do 2 or 3 exercises. This is the time you start going deep. Now you've done a few exercises, you got some things right, some of the things wrong. If it was a mathematical subject or a scientific subject, maybe it was English or something else, you will have to arrive at the questions, like get some other book which helps you at least do some mock testing and do some exercises and answer some questions. And this time you've gone into an average level of depth. Probably in the first baseline attempt you got maybe 30. In the second attempt that you've done, you got maybe 50. Right? And then you started reading actively the whole book. Maybe you were able to reach somewhere between 60 to 70. And this is what most students reach anyway. Right? Not everybody reaches a 90. And this is where the game happens to reach the 90. But what we've done very fast now is in 2 days or 3 days, we've at least established and reached that 60, 70 mark. Maybe for some people who were able to do it really well and understand it very well quickly, in 2 or 3 days, you've at least established that 80. Now, after actively reading the book, you've given the next mock, maybe you got 60, 70, 80, whatever. Now, do all the examples in the book. Whatever examples you can do, all the questions and answers which you can encounter in the book, do all of that. Now, do the whole book in reverse. Read the whole book in depth, in reverse, from the last chapter to the first. And this time, what you will do is whatever terms you did not know, only the things you did not know, just note them down, just write that keyword. And if you want to just write some clue or some specific thing which can help you remember that, just write that down. Probably in a whole book, there'll be some 50 or maybe 70, 80 such words or definitions or key phrases or keywords which you really want to remember and you want to keep a ready reckoner. And that should be in loose pages. Write it down in a loose paper. Maybe you'll have 2 or 3 or 5 pages like that, right? It should not be more than that. This is your ready reckoner. This is your part which you think you need to remember and you are forgetting. This separate like 5 pages, 4 pages which you encountered, like which you wrote down. That's all your notes, nothing else. Most people, what they do is they'll do a highlighter in the book. They'll create huge long notes which are 50 pages. They'll study from that 50 or maybe 500 page notebook, and then they'll read their whole textbook again. All of that deep amount of data actually doesn't result, because what happens is when people read their notes, they again read the things they knew. Whatever things they did not know, they again did not read it. So that doesn't help. To be productive, you have to keep doing the things you did not know. And that is why I want to eliminate all the part where you put your effort again, but you just revise the things you already knew. It's more about doing the things that you did not know. Give another mock test. See whether your score has increased or not. Right? Give another mock test. See whether your score has increased or not. Now, ideally, after doing all of these, your score should have reached somewhere between the 80 or 90 mark. Next, you will do a deep reading, thorough reading of the whole book in forward fashion, and then you'll keep your notes. If there are a few things you missed, again add that to your 5-page notebook or whatever. Hardly 5 to 6 pages. Your notes should not be longer than that, ideally. If it's a very complicated subject, maybe 9 or 10, but not more than that. And then after this, what you can do is just read through your notes, solve a few example questions from random chapters, see if you're getting them right, give a mock test, see whether you hit that 90% mark. Give another mock, see whether, and between these mocks, just see if, whatever questions you were not able to answer in the previous one, revise just those parts, give another mock. Whatever you were not able to answer, maybe just 5 or 10 marks, which you were not able to answer, give another mock. Just try to cover that. And that's how you slowly, get to that 90, 95, and 100, because you're continuously evaluating only those parts which you did not know and not reading through the whole book and again. And I hope this productivity hack helps you crack whatever syllabus you were trying to. I think one subject can be cracked in say 6 to 7 days, maybe 10 days. And this hack actually helped me, I was never able to score high in maths. And with this hack, which I tried just once, actually, just for my final exams in class 12, I was able to get 100 out of 100 just through this hack. I was not somebody who was ever able to do well in maths, throughout my school life. Just for the boards, I thought that maybe I will be able to, just try it out in this way and maybe it'll work. And I just had a little bit of extra time and effort because I was very, very, passionate about getting that 100 at least for once. And I wanted it to be in the boards. And this technique miraculously helped me. It made things so easy, and I was like, why did I never try this earlier? Because I took lesser time, I was more confident, and eventually there was almost no scope of error that was left. It was pretty much sure that things are going to happen, because I was sure that I've covered all aspects of this syllabus. So I hope this productivity hack actually not just helps you with saving time when you're trying to do your syllabus, but it also helps you with scoring better marks, because you will be more confident that you've covered everything. And once again, your notes should ideally not be more than 5 to 10 pages. Actually, not more than 5. Actually, just try to keep it to 3 to 5 pages. It should be a ready reckoner. It should not be like a huge, book which you again have to read. You're increasing your effort. Be productive, be more effective, be very clear about what is there that you do not know, and that's how you're going to score better marks. So I hope this video helps students get better marks with their subjects. It's not about how long you study, but it's all about how much you covered in the time you studied. And if you've just covered everything, you don't have to, keep studying again and again. It's not about hard work, it's about smart work these days. And if you can just do that better, I think, you'll not have to spend that much time studying, and you'll be able to score better marks and enjoy your student life better. We spent about 12-14 years in school, and then 4 years, 3 years or 5 years, whatever, in college. And I think if I can help students with this video crack this phase of their life better and save some time, then I've at least done some part of my job. So yeah, tag your friends who you think can get some help. Tag your whoever is advising your parents if they're asking you to just study for too many hours, and tag especially those people who you think are stressed because of studies. And do share this video with your friends who you think share it in your group, share with your friends who you think can get benefit from it, and follow my channel for more such content. I'll see you in the next video. I'll come up with a lot more study and productivity hacks, so stay tuned. And also do check out, I make some music. I am also passionate about music, so if you'd like, you can also check out some music on my channel, which I keep doing on the side, but I'll keep helping you with more informative videos like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye and good night.